Hey you guys, this is Orsi and this is going to be my first impression of a brand new deck, the Endless Tarot by Eric Maley. I'm sorry, I don't know how to say his name. This was a Kickstarter that I got recently, unfortunately a week later than I could have had because the post office had the deck for a week before I realized that it's actually here, because they, for some reason, displayed in the system that I was notified that, you know, the deck was here and I needed to go and, you know, pay taxes and whatever, and to be able to pick it up, but nobody notified me, which is freaking annoying because all my phone number, my email address, my address, everything was there. So all they had to do was just, you know, leave a tiny piece of paper in our PO box that we are paying a lot of money to have in, and I would have known. And I was, you know, for a weekend, I was very, very worried that the deck would, you know, just go back without me being able to pick it up. But fortunately, I was in the window of time to be able to pick it up, so it's here. But, you know, I'm just only saying that because, you know, the shipping was really quick. He shipped the international orders out first, which was a very nice gesture. Before all the, you know, like domestic US decks were shipped out. So more or less people got the decks around the same time, which I think is a very thoughtful, you know, thing. And I didn't, you know, like got any extra stuff because I usually end up not using anything. They are always like cool looking things, but like magnets and I don't know, I can't even remember what the extra stuff was for this Kickstarter. But these are just things that I'm not using ever, so I'm usually just getting the deck, and if there are free like extra upgrades like the cards, or in this case the box was upgraded, the guidebook was upgraded, and there was this extra card in the deck, and there's an extra lovers card. So all of those that I actually am happy to have, I'm getting when there are, you know, like enough people backing the deck. And this is, I'm leaving it here so you can, you know, use the QR code to check his site out. He had an Endless Oracle previously, which I was very much interested in, but it came out in a time when I was like, I have too much Oracle decks, I don't need another one. So I was flirting with it, because every time I saw it, you know, used in a video or somebody was talking about it, I was like, that's a really cool idea for an Oracle deck. But, you know, it was not cheap getting it from the US, even before everything happened now. So I was like, I don't need it. Then came this deck and I was like, you know what? I need it, because this deck and the James E. R. Reed's, I think that's how his name is, sorry, or just James E. Reed's, I don't know where I'm getting the A, whatever. His deck is also like a path, like not pathworking, because that's different, but it gives you options to do a reading where you want to look at which path to take. And when this deck was announced, and later that one as well, it was definitely like the universe's answer to a problem, or not even a problem, but something that I knew I was missing that I didn't even know. Because I'm still in that phase, unfortunately, that I'm still looking to figure out where to go in my life next, and something like this just feels like the perfect fit for that. And I think that reading for other people is gonna be also a really good deck for that. So I was very happy to back this one, and also we got the word card in a postcard sized, like it was, yeah, you can, you know, just check other QR codes if you want to. I will put it on my wall somewhere for sure, this one. So those were the extras that I got. I'm gonna I of course filmed the flip through, it's gonna be up. It needs some editing because the cardstock, it's kind of interesting. It's not a thick cardstock, but before I get into the cards, let's just, you know, get the box and the guidebook out of the way. This is a very nice quality, beautifully designed, a bit more rigid because it's not folding over, you know, like this point. So I'm just worried that at some point I will be like, by habit, just try to open it more. I mean, it's supposed to open, I'm assuming. I'm just a bit worried that if I fully open it, then I'm gonna damage something. So for now, I'm just trying to be careful. There's the ribbon, you know, like solution to get the cards out. And as you can see, it's all around really pretty, very sturdy. It's gonna be awesome to, you know, have it on my, and it's magnetic, and the other on my shelf. So it's very, very well done. I would love to have a box like this for my zombie oracle. If ever, you know, like tariffs and whatnot became easy for us to be able to sell decks again. Okay, so the guidebook, it's kind of like a small font size. So, you know, if you need, if you struggle reading small text, it's not gonna be your favorite, but you can download the PDF version from his website. So if you have, you know, like a problem reading this guidebook, which I'm getting at the stage of my life where I'm like, I can't read a lot of stuff from really close. I need to like put them a bit more afar from me, which sucks. I don't like that part of being older. But the guidebook is well written. As you can see, there's enough text for the minors as well, not just for the majors, which sometimes happens because obviously those are more complex cards. But you can do a panorama reading, which obviously with a deck like this you should be able to. And I think this would work well with the Lenormand deck as well, but I don't have any like actual Lenormand hand at hand, so I can't show you as a the deck that would pair well with section. But you know, contents, that's how you read, how you're supposed to read the Majorama. Oh wow, Majorama. I hope I'm saying that correctly. So, you know, there's a forward. There's always a forward if someone takes the time. And this is how you read the panorama, sequences, and then you can do closure, like which one is, you know, like the last one I'm assuming, but I haven't had time to actually read it through because, you know, first impression. And then other, like there's a storyteller spread, 1 and 2 card spreads, but I like the storyteller spread. And there's a catalyst, a hero, a companion, a foil, a foe, a support, a climax, and a consequence. So I think that's gonna be like a good one to read. The typical Celtic cross, which I really should, you know, read more often. And then there comes the cards. And then we have meanings for the upright and the reversed. And I like these. The upright is the teachers, the belief and the tradition. For the Hierophant, for example, the reverse is fundamentalism, imposed ideals, and dogma. I think being given those archetypes for like separately, especially, are very useful for people to still learn the tarot. The imagery might not be easy to read for like a newbie, so you know, a guidebook like this could be very helpful, because if someone falls in love with the artwork, then they can just like learn enough from the guidebook. But I haven't had time to read it through, so that will come later. So the biggest like the cards are not shuffled yet because I just filmed the flip through, so I'm just gonna be like randomly pull cards, because why not? So the biggest advantage is that, you know, you can just be like, okay, which way I need to go, and then you can pull 3 cards and assign certain positions for them and be like, okay, this is where I need to go. And you can see they are all like easily placed next to each other and give out a whole scene, like the Like the Prisma Vision Tarot, which I also grabbed now, so I can show you those two decks together, because I forgot that I had something similar until I started to talk about it. But you know, you can just like be like, okay, I have a problem, but I have multiple like solutions or options to deal with it. And option 1 is the Fool, option 2 is the Sun, option 3 is the Ten of Cups. So you can see which way, if you know, if you do certain things, you will go that way. But you can also, like, at least for me, felt like you can just see which one is closer to each other, if there is a way into the other card, maybe. I don't know, I never really had a deck like this before that I actually used a lot, because the Prisma Vision is not something that I read a lot with. And the bonus card was the story, which is in the box as well. I'm not gonna put it in because currently I'm taking out all the extra cards in decks, but it's a lovely idea. I love the artwork, and I love that, you know, it's handmade. It's not AI. It's not. I'm not gonna say it's not digital, because there's nothing wrong with digital. So it's just, you know, it's someone's actual artwork, which I love this one. Like, this is where you start, like with the Fool, you start the journey. But you know, you can imagine the Fool just starting this path and then running into the Magician and then the Emperor, and then, you know, like there's an Eight of Wands moment maybe, and there's the Three of Cups. So, and not all backgrounds are the same, but the blacks are supposed to be consistent. But you know what, I don't even mind that they are not exactly the same, because it just makes it even more handmade in a good way, because it doesn't have to be like you know, if it's handmade, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's easy to shuffle. I'm assuming riffle shuffling as well, but let's see. I suck at riffle shuffle, so don't judge the deck based on what I do, but yeah. Oh, and I can almost bridge it. And I absolutely love the back. I think it's beautiful. It's not reversible. I mean, you're gonna realize which way is a card when you shuffle it, if that bothers you. But, you know, it doesn't bother me, because I don't actively try to pick a card based on... okay, that was too ambitious. Based on the position of the back. But if it bothers you, I'm assuming you can just look away, or I don't know, close your eyes when you're shuffling. Like I said, I'm not a pro at shuffling like this, but it shuffles great. It wasn't easy to do a flip through at first, because it's a bit not rose petally, but it has a matte finish, so the cards tend to stick together a bit, especially because they are quite thin, not in a bad thin way, just they are thinner than those the cards that I read with recently. I think that's why I noticed it, but it's good quality, so I don't think that it's gonna have any problem, any issues later with bending or ripping or anything like that. Yeah, I still suck at this. No, what else? But okay, let's see some pairings that I was thinking of that would be good with this deck, and then we will see if it's actually good. So I still have the Prisma Visions. I think this was the 5th edition. Okay, no, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna just put them this way. Let's see. It's stupid if I try to put them next to each other. I don't know if this makes sense, because in my head it kind of looks different, but this is the majors. They could be like, I would think that with this deck, and I'm just figuring this one out, so you're here for the process. For this deck, I would do a reading like this is point A, point B. What do I have to do to get from here to here? Because, you know, if I take this one out, they are connected. But if I don't see how am I going to go from a Knight of Wands energy to an Eight of Swords, not necessarily because I want to. That's interesting. Why would you want to be in an Eight of Swords? But maybe not want to, but you know, you're gonna get from here, from being very passionate and being very like going and just having purpose and whatever, but you're gonna end up in an Eight of Swords. What's gonna happen? And we have the Five of Wands, and it's gonna be like, okay, you run into people and you're gonna have fights with them and you're gonna get lost in the drama and whatnot. So I think a reading like this, with any deck pretty much, but with this deck could work. Or, you know, I could sandwich the Eight of Swords between these two, like how to get out of the Five of Wands and reach the Queen of Pentacles. You have to go through the Eight of Swords. You have to face your fears. You have to realize that whatever you saw is not even as bad as you imagined. And, you know, you can just build up a reading like that. So, like I said, this is why they are similar, because they have... Okay, I don't even know. I mean, for this deck, it's not all cards are connected, I forgot that, but the minors are, you know, by a similar background. It's not as well connected as the Endless Tarot, but still, you can still tell a story if you put these together. And, you know, this creator, which, did I check the name? No, I did not. James Ari Eads. Ah, okay. Okay, I said it wrongly, sorry, previously. But he has a new deck, which I, like I said, I all as well decked. I think that's what I wanted to say. Words. Which is a big, more panoramic, more scenic, more connected deck. So I'm looking forward to check this deck. The Endless Tarot will be that one. Okay, and then I was thinking that I'm gonna try the Majestic Earth next to it as well, because I think that the openness of the Majestic Earth is going to match the narrowness, I guess, of the Endless Tarot, because, you know, everything is in the path. So, you know, there's forest surrounding each card. So it's kind of, I felt like that, okay, when I arrive at the Ace of Pentacles, and this could be also like a step-by-step reading where I'm like, there's a first step with one card from here and two from this one. Next step, again, this combination or whatever. And then, I don't know, like, where am I now? It's the Ace of Pentacles, and if I look left and if I look right, what surrounds me in this like time of my life? And I have the Creature of Trees, which is the Queen of Wands, is next to me. I was just, you know, like a little distracted by the Protective, because I kind of felt like that's more of a Pentacles keyword, but whatever. And the Moon, so there are some things that I'm not seeing clearly, but I'm also surrounded by a confident energy, so I should go on and create and start this new journey, even if I don't see the path ahead of me clearly. And so I think for something like that, this would work very well. Let's check a few other cards. Okay, Five of Wands and the Hierophant's domain. Yeah, I'm in a Ten of Wands. Like, this is where I'm going. Ten of Wands, there's going to be a lot of work. I might overwork myself, carry more than I should, you know, pick up other people's stuff that I'm not supposed to. And why? Because we have the Five of Wands also, you know, like competition. Maybe I'm overdoing things because I'm worried that other people are gonna get ahead of me. But this is a teachable moment because I need to realize that I can learn from other people, and I can, just work well with others and learn from them, and it doesn't have to be like a rivalry between me and other people, just like following the previous one. So as you can see, and I don't want to spend too much time on this one, this will work well together. So looking forward to testing this one out in the long run. Another one which I think visually looks well together as well. They are more like only a few colors. Both decks use only a few colors, so it's not overly colorful. And this is also a storytelling deck, the Citadel Oracle. So I think these two will work well together. We have the Eight of Pentacles here with the foundation and community. You can build a community, but only if you put in the work. You have to actually work on it. It's not gonna just happen overnight. Oh, look at that. I'm a bit more colorful, both of them, because we have the Dancer, but in the reverse with self-expression and strength. And the Sun. Very interesting combination, because I kind of feel like, the Sun is like seeing clearly, it's happiness, it's moving forward, it's all good things. But we have something that's, in the reverse with the self-expression and strength, that maybe, even if it's, like what makes me really happy is what I need to focus on, because maybe I'm not going to be able to reach this happy place in my life where I see clearly, when I can just go where I need to go, if I'm not building on my own strength, if I'm not expressing who I am for real and clearly for other people to see. And we have the Temperance with the Priest, which is perseverance and faith in the reverse. And this could be leaving behind old system of beliefs, something that's not serving you anymore or never served you, but you grew up in that system. For example, if it could be religion, easily, but it could be just a belief system as well. But temperance is a slow positive change, how a river changes its course. It's not something that you see from day to day. It's like maybe years go by when you realize that you made actually big progress. So you can see these two work well together as well. So I'm looking forward to reading with them. Another one that I think it's gonna look well visually, because they are both, this is ink and watercolor, and this is watercolor, so it's my thing. But they also have that storytelling feature, or not feature, feeling for me. So any of the three trees tarot decks are gonna work well with this deck, I think. We have the King of Wands here with the Star. You have to believe in yourself, and the King of Wands has a much easier time to believe in themselves than most of us. So maybe it's a reminder that you can be like other people. You can just believe in yourself and move forward. Nine of Cups with the Moon. Very interesting, that you can reach, like happiness. Be content with not knowing everything, not having everything. The Nine of Pentacles and Nine of Cups. The Hermit and the Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, you can just, like be happy with your own thing. You don't necessarily need to show it off what you achieved all the time. Sometimes it's okay to just be happy with what you have. You sit on your gold, so to speak. So as you can see, I think these are gonna work well together as well. And the last one that I was thinking about is also a 3/3 tarot deck. Is the Thistledown. The previous one was the Smoke, Ash and Embers, just in case anybody doesn't know, because you're new to my channel. That's my dragon deck. because I was thinking again, like walking this path, who am I gonna meet at different stages of in the reading? You know, I'm not going specifically into it right now because I want to sit down and design a spread around this deck as well. The walking the path, a spread or something like that. And you know, who am I gonna run into, or what am I need to pay more attention to when I'm at the different stages? And you know, in the Ten of Pentacles, it's important to have, you know, at least dreams, to dream big, to have hope for the future. But it's also, you know, got pause. So sometimes, and especially because this gentleman here has a cane, that you know, he's gonna sometimes just stop, even if it's just a walking stick, stop and, you know, wait for other people to reach them. It's important to sometimes stop and see where you are at your path. What did you achieve? Are you on the right path even? And maybe, you know, like reach back into what you're dreaming of, what is it you want in order to move forward, and then recalibrate and take the next step. With the Page of Wands, we have rest and making space. Very interesting, because you know, the next step moving forward is from, if we're continuing with this one, from the Ten of Pentacles, where you seemingly reached everything and have everything you want, and reach that stage of life where, you know, you're supposed to end up at, pretty much, kind of. You can also start anew, and with the Page of Wands, it's going to be a fiery, passionate new beginning, where you have to go back to that, you know, like novice mindset. But we tend to overdo things when we're getting excited about new beginnings. So rest is here because it's a reminder that you need to rest in order to be able to deal with whatever you're learning and incorporate that. But also we have make space, which in this context I would read it as, you sometimes, in order to move forward in a new direction, you have to leave things behind, because there's a certain amount of memories, knowledge, whatever, brain space we have. So we can't just learn and not forget. But sometimes it's okay, because we need to make space for new experiences in our lives. So as you can see, I think these work well as well, really nicely together. And yeah, I think this is the way that I'm gonna use this deck. I will use it for, you know, like on its own for sure. But I think the strength of the deck is that you can just build up a path that, you know, you want to take or you don't want to take. For example, like, this is the road that I want to go towards. This is what I am right now, and this is what I shouldn't, you know, like go into the direction. And you can just play around and put them next to each other and just endlessly combine the cards and see where you're going, what lies ahead of you. Or maybe just go backwards if you want to do something like that. I think that would be interesting as well, to see what led to maybe your current situation. What were the path you took? What was your option that you didn't take? What could have been done differently, but in a way where you look at it and you're not feeling regret, but you're looking for lessons that you can just incorporate and use in the future. If this makes any sense, I don't know, but you will see. But yeah, this is just, like I said, first impression. I'm very excited to use this deck in videos, mostly in Hungarians, because, you know, I'm posting reading videos on my other channel, but it's definitely gonna be a fun thing to explore. So do let me know if you had the deck, how you pair it with deck, like which direction do you use them with, or if you have a system like that you came up with similar decks, please share them in the comments below. And if you managed to watch this to the end, please post a dragon. emoji because why not? And yeah, thank you so much for being here. See you in the next one. Bye!